Hello world, welcome back to the Razor RC, and we got a new vehicle in front of us. This is the Reflex 14B Ongaro edition. So those of you who are not familiar with World Championship Racing, Team Associated 31-time World Champions, now 32nd time World Champions, because Davide Ongaro, I think it's actually pronounced Davide Ongaro, actually just won the 4-wheel drive 10 scale electric World Championships here in Arizona. So pretty exciting. They sent this out to me to take a look at. Pretty familiar with the Reflex 14B. I actually have the original one here, which is more of like an army green style, but this is pretty cool because it's got the Ongaro official paint scheme on there, a little bit of information about him with some world championships. So those of you not familiar, Ongaro, super fast racer. I think he's also the 1/8 scale nitro champion at the time of this video. So he's 10 scale world champion, 8 scale world champion. Pretty cool stuff. So this is what the box looks like. Yeah, there are a few different Reflex versions. There's a ready to run and also ready to run with battery and charger. And then they also make a Truggy and a monster truck as well. So yeah, pretty cool that they've got a lot of different versions of this. And we're going to see what's inside the box. So this is a 14 scale 4-wheel drive electric buggy, 2S capable. Really, I think intended more for carpet racing or smooth surface type surfaces like the street, or something where maybe light dirt, nothing too rough. Because it is a 4-wheel drive buggy. There's your bind plug, the XP120 radio, as well as some additional parts, spur gear, different rod ends, some spacers, looks like extra shock caps as well. So yeah, nice to have a few extra spares. Here is, wow, this is actually a super nice looking paint scheme. I haven't seen one of these in person, so this is pretty cool. Here is your manual, some additional servo horns, and then looks like some sort of tool or something. Can't tell. Yeah, looks like you got a T-wrench as well. So yeah, Associated manual's quite good. They kind of show you how to take apart the whole car as well as like pretty much reassemble it. And then here's the buggy. Kind of more of a dirt style tire, I think. It's got the mini pins, a little bit of that connected bar style tread pattern, white wing, which I really like, held on with body clips. A little bit of the stickers here with the Team Associated stuff, the Reedy sticker. So very, very, pro replica looking paint scheme. Composite shocks, double wishbone suspension with the adjustable turnbuckles. Let's pull off the body clips here and see what's underneath inside the vehicle. Composite chassis. Does have 3 differentials, including a center differential, which is nice. They do say they're sealed. I would say they're like semi-sealed. If you put in a lightweight diff oil, it will definitely leak out over time. So you may want to just use something thicker, or maybe some grease or something like that if you really want to tune your diffs. Brushless motor here, the little Breedy 4500 kV brushless motor. You've got the D115F servo, which is pretty much, I think, made by Batan or something like that. T-style plug connector, servo saver integrated into the servo horn. Certainly going with a fixed servo horn will give you a little bit better precision in your steering. 2S capable. Battery compartment here with the battery strap, pretty nice. A lot of tunability on these things. I mean, you can definitely adjust like the pills and stuff, locations on these ABCD blocks. There's little spacers here, aluminum Ackerman bar with 2 positions, couple of different mounting positions for the shocks up top, different camber link locations. So this is a very tunable vehicle. I actually have my Reflex 14B set up as a carpet racer with more like carpet style tires, and definitely with some tuning, it can drive actually pretty well. And people definitely do race these things. A lot of option parts as well. You can get the aluminum shocks. I don't have everything, but I did find the aluminum shocks to be a little bit more, I don't know, I guess smoother overall. Plastic shocks are actually not that bad, but if you want a little more smoothness, you can do that. They do also make different springs, so you can tune the shocks as well. So yeah, this is a full-on race vehicle. At the time this came out, I would say it actually felt like almost like a mini B74. Just the way it was set up, the electronics layout. You can see the ESC here on the side. That is one thing I would say you could definitely upgrade the electronics. The radio is just enough to get you going. The servo is okay, but getting a better radio and a programmable ESC, I think, will actually give you a little bit more tunability and a little more precision and easier to drive, linearity within throttle response, all that kind of stuff. Center drive shaft down here in the middle. It does come off with like a few screws. You can pop that off to get access to the spur gear, the center differential, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it does have 1.5 millimeter screws throughout, so that's pretty nice. You don't need any Phillips head screws or anything like that. But yeah, a lot of tunability, even access to the parts underneath here with these covers, removable bumpers. So 12 millimeter hexes, it looks like, CVAs up front, and dog bones in the rear. So yeah, full on little mini race vehicle. So yeah, now that we got this out, I'm gonna take it out to the track and probably actually swap over some of the option parts I got on my other Reflex 14B running in here, because I'm very familiar with how this thing drives, and it definitely drives better with some hop-ups. So yeah, let's take this thing out and drive it. Okay, so there's some running footage of the Ongaro Edition Reflex 14B. I was just driving around in my local carpet track. I did change out some things just because I'm very familiar with this platform and was running more of my race electronics. So I did throw in a Hobby Wing quick run. I think it's the 10 or the 16 BL30, a Savox servo, which I don't think is actually necessary. The stock servo is actually pretty good. And then I am running a Futaba radio. So the radio and the ESC I think will make pretty significant improvements just in direct feel, more responsive, all that kind of stuff. The stock ESC is okay for bashing, I think, but it just doesn't have the direct full punch that you would normally find and is programmable on the Hobby Wing aftermarket version. I was also running different tires. I did try these tires. They're extremely grippy on carpet. These little knobs dig in really, really well. But on carpet, you know, to smooth it out, definitely running a less aggressive tread pattern will work a little bit easier, make it easier to control. So I do love the buy. This thing looks phenomenal on the track. Buggy drives really well. I did afterwards actually throw on some different aftermarket shocks. So Associated does make a lot of option parts, running the aluminum shocks and then the rear sway bar as well. They make other stuff you can do to improve the vehicle. But yeah, the buggy drives really, really well. No issues, no breakages. I do recommend running these little white spacers up front on the shocks, because if you smash into something, the shock cap can kind of push in against the ball stud and kind of get jammed there. So running some sort of offset will help you know, make it a little bit more durable or consistent on your shock package. But great little buggy, drives really well. Certainly if you want to race on carpet, 14 scale, this is one of the ones I would highly recommend you take a look at. Nice thing is also the electronics are compatible with other 14 scale racing buggies out there on the market. The Savox one, you do have to make a little bit of adjustments to the servo mount to get it to fit, because it's just a little bit bigger, but it is a nice little upgrade. Running a stock, you know, or a solid servo horn will also make some nice improvements. I'm also running an aftermarket or the original Reflex 14B ESC mount here up top. That is something they went away from by mounting the ESC here on the bottom, but I just couldn't get this to stick properly to the servo, so you can also run that if you want to run your ESC mount up high. So great little buggy, certainly one of my favorites within the mini scale class. If you want to race or just bash around, this is a great choice. Price-wise, I think it's like $220 or $240, somewhere around there. I'll have links in the description below where you can pick one of these up. They still also sell the green one, the original Reflex 14B. It is a little bit cheaper, so I'll have links to both. If you like the Ongaro one, it's going to be a little bit more. If you're willing to stick with the old one, the old green sort of military paint scheme, you can pick that up for a few dollars less. And anyway, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I do have a review on the original Reflex 14B if you want a little bit more in-depth about that, but the Ongaro edition, really a nice looking buggy, and I do like the changes they made with the white wing, the painted scheme, and the dish wheels look really awesome. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.